Raised in New Jersey or here?
Yes, in New Jersey, born and raised. So I'm here now. I have an apartment off of campus, and that's why I have two jobs.
Right,
But I'm
right.
only doing part-time at Winston Salem State, and I'll be enrolled full-time next semester in the whole year.
So when you say how many credits will you be taking?
Next semester, I'll be taking 15.
15. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
15.
3 5s are 15, 5 subjects. Yes.
I mean, 12 will complete a full schedule, but just to get out of, just to finish,
The
But
faster
then
the
again,
better. I finished my bachelor's in 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
That's amazing.
when I worked for the bank, they paid for my tuition if I had B or above.
Wow.
So my master was free.
Wow.
Yeah, so they took care of it. But then once any company has a merger, you know what I mean? It just cuts off the people who really work hard for you, but the CEOs or the board of trustees, whatever, they make still the same amount, the millions and bonuses and whatnot.
Wow.
So
wow. So they just basically leave the regular employees.
yes,
with
because
not
you know
much.
why? When they had the merger, the Mellon Bank had a call center and people who do programming was in Chennai, India. So at one point, where I was used to work, they cleared off all the floors. They had the whole building to themselves. But once the merger, they shift all the jobs to India and pay them like minuscule amount of money, and it didn't affect them. It's all about making profits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what about the people who live here?
That's the thing too. It's like as long as the profit is big enough and it won't hurt the people as much,
right?
Then it's okay. But in reality, that messes everything up.
Yes, but they don't care. They are making their money.
That money, that's all.
They are making their money, and they really don't give a damn. I mean, if
that's why we as individuals have to just work hard.
Work hard, exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I want to rearrange my major, honestly, because
you do. To be honest with you, I'm being very blunt with you. English is very, like. The most you can get out of is like in education, teaching and stuff like that. But what else are you interested in?
I'm interested in music.
Music.
Yes.
So why don't you pursue something in that? Because
I mean, actually, I had an internship that I worked over the summer where I was working at a music industry music studio in Atlanta, Georgia, pretty much, where I was audio engineering for a few artists that are Atlanta based. So that was pretty fun. That was very.
Do you play any instruments?
I used to play the trumpet, but at church I would play the drums. And it's just I don't mainly play an instrument. I just go off of ear, and what I play sounds good. So
nice.
Yeah, and it's
so why don't you just pursue your passion, what you're interested in? You know what I mean? I mean, trust me, if you what you like, because you only live once. I mean, and you should do what you enjoy doing, basically. I don't think you would enjoy teaching English, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're mostly students who are from international countries. They might learn English.
I have a few friends who I have one that graduated at Winston-Salem State with a computer science major. And then I have a friend right now who graduated from Columbia for grad school
Columbia, New York?
Columbia, New York, yeah.
Wow, nice.
And we actually went to school together, and he graduated grad school already, finished his undergrad and grad school, and he's
doing well?
Doing well, yes, and finished with school, but he did, sports analysis?
Oh, okay.
In Columbia, but I'm not sure what he's doing right now. I think he's back in New Jersey for sure, but...
With the family?
Yes.
Yeah, one thing it is, people think it's you gotta save money. If you can live with your family and save money, that's the best thing you're doing. If you're not unable to save after you graduate, then there's something wrong with the picture. Because when I had my good job, still living in New York, I was able to save to secure myself. I look at the bigger picture, like the future, because you don't want to be dependent on anybody, you know what I mean? I mean, your family is fine, it depends how close to your family. And basically, you just go with that. And if you save, trust me, you will be able to, you have more options in the sense that God forbid anything happens, like something, I got laid off after 18 years, and I had saved, so I have something to fall back on.
Right.
And now that I have primary custody of my 2 young kids, so it helps me being a little bit flexible, driving for Uber and Lyft.
Right.
So.
But saving up gave that flexibility, that option.
Yes, sir, because you know why? Because if you look at it, the biggest expense of anybody these days is their lodging, rent or mortgage. Am I correct or not? $600, $700 goes nowhere, right? Living in New York and moving to North Carolina, I mean, I was able to afford a home.
Right.
So the houses in New York it's impossible to buy a house in New York these days because
even some parts of New Jersey is
the taxes alone are like $15,000 a year.
Right.
I pay $1,500 for my home, $15,000,
Wow.
And I bought a house which was on foreclosure, and I got a really good price on it, and I was able to, just. So basically, I drive for my major expenses are my cell phone, electric, gas, water, and whatnot. So I don't have to make any payments towards the home or anything because I was able to afford it because it was on foreclosure. Right. So I was very lucky to get it.
Wow.
But it's an old home, but I'm repairing it. Today I spend most of my day outside securing
it was a nice day for it too.
Yeah, because all this rain and all that can damage your home.
Right.
If the water goes into your crawl space or basement. But it's a lot of work owning a home. I used to most of my life I lived in an apartment complex, but I always pictured to have a home, and I did. And
wow.
But trust me, man, it's a lot of expenses. If something goes down, you have to pay from your own pocket. But if you live in an apartment, you just call them up and they'll send somebody, and basically, they'll take care of it.
They'll take care of it just like that.
But you don't have to make $500 to $600 payments towards the rent or whatever it is. So, yes, reconsider your major.
Yeah.
Whatever, I mean, and do some research, what will be in demand from a couple of years from now or even 10 years from now, And with that, you should be able to find a good major and make money and be, able to support yourself and even, able to save.
Right. Working so much, I was just thinking, for what, It's like...
when I was in college, I used to go to Washington, I don't know if you know Maryland. I used to go to Washington City, Maryland with a bunch of friends, and I used to work 110 hours a week.
What?
I'm not joking with you. 2 full-time jobs, 40 hours, plus overtime, because I wanted to save money for my 2 semesters and expenses. At that time, college was cheap. It was, when I graduated, it was only $4,000. So
100 hours a week?
I'm not joking.
Straight?
Straight, okay.
Yes, and you make that right turn right here, and then you make that left turn as soon as you... And then it's all the way down once you make the turn.
Sure.